Russia has accused Volodymyr Zelensky of making a direct threat to its World War II commemorations on May 9, after the Ukrainian president said Kyiv would not take responsibility for ensuring safety on the day. On Monday, Putin declared a three-day ceasefire to mark the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Soviet Union and its allies in World War II. The Kremlin said the 72-hour ceasefire would run on May 8, May 9 when Putin will host international leaders, including Chinese President Xi Jinping, and May 10. But Mr. Zelensky on Friday dismissed the truce as theatrics, and said Ukraine won't be playing games to create a pleasant atmosphere to allow for Putin's exit from isolation on the 9th of May. This is more of a theatrical performance on his part. Because in 2 or 3 days, it is impossible to develop a plan for the next steps to end the war, Mr. Zelensky said. The Ukrainian president added that, "We cannot be responsible for what happens on the territory of the Russian Federation. They are responsible for your security, and therefore, we will not give you any guarantees." Russia responded by calling his statement a direct threat. He is threatening the physical safety of veterans who will come to parades and celebrations on the holy day, Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said. Leaders of around 20 countries have accepted invitations to join this year's celebration, according to the Kremlin. Russian officials have promised grand celebrations for the occasion, during which Putin will seek to rally support for his troops fighting in Ukraine. The Kremlin spokesperson said that Russia wanted a definitive response from Kyiv regarding the ceasefire, and that Putin's 3-day offer was a test to assess Kyiv's readiness for long-term peace. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council and a former Russian president, also weighed in, calling Mr. Zelensky's statement a verbal provocation. Mr. Zelensky understands that in the event of a real provocation on Victory Day, nobody will be able to guarantee that Kyiv will live to see May 10, Mr. Medvedev said. The Kremlin rejected an unconditional 30-day ceasefire proposed by Kyiv and Washington in March, and has since made only slim contributions to U.S. President Donald Trump's efforts to broker an end to the 3-year Russian invasion. The United States has warned it could abandon efforts to broker a ceasefire if it does not see progress towards an end to the war. Washington is seeking a complete, durable ceasefire and an end to the conflict, rather than a 3-day moment so you can celebrate something else, U.S. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce said this week. In a meeting with journalists, Mr. Zelensky said that Mr. Trump had started looking at things a little differently, following their one-to-one Vatican meeting. He added that the brief 15-minute meeting, which took place on the sidelines of Pope Francis's funeral, was the best that the two men have had together. "I am confident that after our meeting in the Vatican, President Trump began to look at things a little differently. We'll see. That's his vision, his choice in any case," the Ukrainian president told journalists. Mr. Zelensky said that he and Mr. Trump agreed that a 30-day ceasefire between Kyiv and Moscow was the correct first step towards peace in the war in Ukraine. He also said he raised the topic of sanctions, and that the response of the U.S. president to this question was very strong. Russia and Ukraine continued tit-for-tat exchanges on Friday night and Saturday. A Russian drone strike on Kyiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, wounded 47 people and damaged residential buildings, civilian infrastructure and vehicles, officials said. Meanwhile, Russia's defense ministry said its air defenses shot down 170 Ukrainian drones overnight. The ministry said 8 cruise missiles and 3 guided missiles were also intercepted. In southern Russia, 5 people, including 2 children, were injured in a drone strike on the Black Sea port city of Novorossiysk overnight, according to Mayor Andrei Kravchenko. On Saturday, Kyiv destroyed a Russian Su-30 fighter jet using a missile fired from a seaborne drone, Ukraine's GUR military intelligence agency announced on Saturday, in what it said was the world's first downing of a combat plane by a maritime drone. Its statement on social media said the fighter had been shot down by a military intelligence unit called Group 13 on Friday over waters near Novorossiysk, a major Russian port city on the Black Sea. Outmanned and outgunned by its larger, wealthier Russian adversary, Ukraine has turned to drone warfare in the air and at sea as a way to fight back throughout more than 3 years of full-scale war. Ukraine's seaborne drones, which are much cheaper and smaller than conventional ships, have wrought havoc on Russia's Black Sea fleet. Ukraine has previously said it shot down a Russian military helicopter in December 2024 using a missile fired from the same type of seaborne drone. The Russian Defense Ministry did not comment on the Ukrainian claim, but an authoritative Russian blogger believed to be close to the ministry said the jet had been shot down. Ukraine also worked to repel an overnight Russian attack on Kyiv, officials said early on Sunday. Witnesses told Reuters they heard several explosions which sounded like air defense systems.